Captain Diana Winters stood at the observation deck of the Stellar Research Station Hyperion, her reflection ghosting against the reinforced windows that looked out into the vast expanse of space. The Hegemony's diplomatic vessel hung in high orbit above Europa, its crystalline structure catching Jupiter's light in ways that still made her breath catch, even after 5 years of regular visits from their supposed allies. She should have felt honored. The Hegemony had chosen Hyperion as their primary research exchange facility, supposedly sharing advanced technologies with humanity. Instead, the weight of what she'd discovered pressed against her chest like a gravity crush. "Captain, they're requesting permission to dock." Lieutenant Raj Kumar's voice came through the comm, steady despite the tension she knew he must be feeling. They'd both seen the decoded transmissions. "Grant them clearance, Lieutenant. Maintain Protocol Omega." Diana's fingers brushed against the quantum data chip hidden in her uniform pocket. The evidence was irrefutable, 20 years of carefully orchestrated deception by the Hegemony. The diplomatic party that emerged from their ship was led by Ambassador Zeichel, his iridescent scales shifting colors in the station's lighting. Behind him, 4 other Hegemony representatives moved with their characteristic fluid grace. Diana had once found their alien beauty fascinating. Now she saw only predators. "Captain Winters," Zeichel's translator converted his harmonic speech into crisp English. "Your hospitality honors the concordat of mutual development." Diana forced herself to smile to play her part one final time. "The honor is ours, Ambassador. Please follow me to the conference chamber." As they walked, she activated her neural implant's secure channel. "Execute Protocol Shadowfall." Throughout the station, hidden quantum computers began their work, breaking through the Hegemony's encryption barriers using algorithms they never expected humans to develop. The evidence had been there all along, hidden in plain sight within their gift of basic quantum computing technology. The conference room doors sealed behind them. Diana took her place at the head of the table, watching as the Hegemony representatives arranged themselves with their usual precise formality. The holographic displays activated, showing the standard research exchange protocols. "Before we begin," Diana said, her voice carrying an edge that made Zeichel's head tilt slightly, "I believe we should review some recently discovered data." With a gesture, she changed the display. The decoded Hegemony directives filled the air between them. Zeichel's scales shifted to a deep purple shock Diana had learned. The other representatives moved subtly, hands drifting toward hidden weapons. "Interesting reading, isn't it?" Diana's smile was razor-sharp now. "Particularly the parts about controlled technological regression and species containment protocols. 20 years of preparing us for elimination, all while pretending to be our mentors." "These documents are clearly falsified," Zeichel began, but Diana cut him off. "We've already transmitted copies to every human colony and settlement. Our quantum networks may be primitive by your standards, but they're quite effective." She stood, planting both hands on the table. "Did you really think we wouldn't figure it out? That we wouldn't notice how each gift of technology came with hidden restrictions? How every advancement we made was subtly guided down paths that would leave us vulnerable?" The ambassador's scales had shifted to a deep red. "Captain, you don't understand the complexities of galactic politics." "No, Ambassador, you don't understand humanity." Diana's voice was steel wrapped in silk. "We've spent 20 years studying your technology, your methods, your weaknesses. You thought you were containing us. Instead, you gave us exactly what we needed to fight back." Throughout the station, hidden defense systems activated. On Earth and every human colony, quantum-encrypted messages were being decoded, revealing the full scope of the Hegemony's betrayal and humanity's prepared response. "This meeting is over," Diana announced. "Your vessel will be escorted back to Hegemony space. When you report to your superiors, tell them this: humanity is done playing by your rules. We trusted you as teachers and you planned our extinction. Now you'll learn exactly how dangerous we can be." As security teams moved to escort the Hegemony representatives out, Diana received confirmation that similar scenes were playing out across human space. The Hegemony's carefully constructed web of control was unraveling, and humanity was emerging from its chrysalis far stronger than they had ever suspected. Captain Kumar's voice came through her neural link. "Fleet Command reports all positions secure. Operation Awakening is proceeding as planned." Diana looked out at the Hegemony ship, soon to carry news of humanity's defiance back to its masters. "Send word to Admiral Torres. Tell him the board is set." She allowed herself a grim smile. "Let's show them what humanity can really do." The war that would reshape the galaxy had begun, not with a bang, but with the quiet revelation of truth. Humanity had been betrayed, but in preparing for their extinction, the hegemony had instead ensured their own downfall. The next moves would echo across the stars, as humanity rose to claim its place in the cosmos not as students, but as equals who would never again bow to the will of those who sought to control them. Admiral Marcus Torres stood in the heart of Luna Command, watching as holographic displays showed the status of every human settlement from Mars to the Kuiper Belt. 30 days had passed since Captain Winters exposed the hegemony's betrayal, and humanity had used every second of that time. "Status report on the Quantum Shield Network," he commanded, his voice carrying across the bustling command center. Colonel Yuki Tanaka stepped forward, her hands dancing through the holographic interface. Shield generators are online across 80% of core colonies. The hegemony's restricted technology gave us exactly what we needed to reverse engineer their defensive systems. Marcus nodded, a grim satisfaction settling over him. The hegemony had spent 2 decades carefully controlling humanity's technological development, never realizing that their greatest mistake was underestimating human ingenuity. "Sir," Lieutenant Commander Jackson called out, "incoming transmission from Ganymede Base. Dr. Patel's team has achieved breakthrough on the neural interface." The main screen lit up with Dr. Rohan Patel's excited face. "Admiral, we've done it. The quantum neural network is stable. We can link our defense systems across the entire solar system without relying on conventional communications." This was the advantage they needed. The hegemony's superiority had always relied on their ability to disrupt standard communications during battle. Now humanity had developed something they couldn't counter because they'd never imagined it possible. "Begin implementation immediately," Marcus ordered, "priority to forward bases and fleet commands." He turned to his tactical officer. "How long until the hegemony fleet arrives?" "Conservative estimates give us 48 hours, sir. They're moving their entire 3rd Expeditionary Force, over 300 vessels." Marcus studied the tactical display. The hegemony was coming to make an example of humanity, to show other species the price of defiance. They expected to find scattered colonies, disorganized resistance. Instead, they would face a unified human race, armed with weapons and defenses born from 20 years of careful study and hidden development. "Message from Europa Station," Colonel Tanaka announced. "Captain Winters reports the quantum shield is at full power. They've also completed installation of the new weapon systems." Marcus allowed himself a small smile. Diana had turned her research station into a fortress, using knowledge gained from years of studying hegemony technology. Every human facility had similar surprises waiting. "Sir," Jackson's voice carried urgent excitement. "Multiple quantum signatures detected at the edge of the system. They're not hegemony, they're from the Arcturian resistance." The display showed a dozen ships emerging from quantum space, their designs unlike anything in known space. The Arcturians, another species the hegemony had tried to suppress, had heard humanity's call. "Open a channel," Marcus ordered. The screen filled with the image of an Arcturian commander, their crystalline form refracting light in complex patterns. "Admiral Torres," the translator converted their harmonic language. "We bring weapons and ships. The hegemony's grip must be broken, and humanity has shown the courage to strike first." More quantum signatures appeared. Ships from the Centaurian Freelands, the Sirius Confederation, other species that had suffered under hegemony control. What had begun as humanity's stand for survival was becoming something greater. "All commands, this is Admiral Torres." His voice carried to every human settlement and vessel. "For 20 years we played the part of grateful students while preparing for this day. The hegemony thought they were containing a potential threat. Instead, they created their worst nightmare, a humanity united in purpose, armed with understanding of their technology, and now supported by others who dream of freedom." He looked at the tactical display, watching as more allied ships arrived. The hegemony's arrival would trigger the greatest battle in known space, but humanity was ready. "Deploy the fleet according to Plan Omega," he ordered. "Activate all defensive positions. Begin power-up sequence for the quantum shield network." Throughout the system, ships and stations hummed with energy as humanity's hidden strength was revealed. In her office adjacent to the command center, Commander Olivia Chen reviewed the latest intelligence reports. The hegemony's approach formation suggested they expected minimal resistance. Their arrogance would be their undoing. Admiral, she called through the neural link, interrogation of the captured hegemony agents confirms our suspicions. They have no concept of our true capabilities. Their entire strategy is based on outdated assessments. Marcus received the information through his neural implant, the quantum network allowing instant sharing of crucial intelligence across the entire human defense network. Good. Maintain radio silence. Let them think their communications jamming is working. The next 48 hours saw humanity's transformation complete. Every colony, every station, every ship was connected through the quantum neural network. Teams of engineers and scientists, their minds linked through Dr. Patel's breakthrough, worked together across vast distances to strengthen defenses and refine weapons. When the hegemony fleet finally arrived, they found not the scattered resistance they expected, but a wall of human ships supported by alien allies. The quantum shield network blazed to life, its energy patterns confounding hegemony sensors. All commands, Marcus broadcast, his voice calm and determined. Execute Battle Plan Alpha. Show them what humanity can do when we stand together. The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries. Human ships, moving with impossible coordination through the quantum neural network, struck with devastating precision. Weapons reverse-engineered from hegemony technology found weaknesses their creators never thought possible. And at the heart of it all, Admiral Marcus Torres directed humanity's forces with the confidence of someone who had spent 20 years preparing for exactly this moment. The hegemony had sought to contain humanity. Instead, they had forced humanity to evolve, to innovate, to unify in ways they never imagined possible. The war for humanity's future had begun, and the stars themselves would bear witness to their rise. Dr. Rohan Patel stood before the quantum interface chamber, its crystalline surfaces pulsing with neural energy patterns that no human had ever seen before. Around him, the research team at Ganymede Base worked with focused intensity, their minds already partially linked through the prototype network. Neural sync at 98%, announced Dr. Victoria Reed, her fingers dancing across holographic controls. The network is stabilizing faster than we predicted. Rohan nodded, monitoring the quantum fluctuations through his neural implant. What had begun as a defensive communication system had evolved into something far more profound. The quantum neural network wasn't just linking minds, it was creating a new form of human consciousness. Director Wei, he called through the neural link, are you seeing these patterns? In her lab on Mars, Director Hannah Wei watched identical energy signatures fluctuate across her screens. Confirmed, Doctor, the network is generating emergent behaviors we never anticipated. It's not just transmitting information, it's evolving. The breakthrough had come 3 days into the war with the hegemony. During a fierce battle near Titan, linked human pilots had displayed impossible levels of coordination, their ships moving as one organism. Investigation revealed that the quantum network had begun creating new neural pathways, allowing humans to share not just thoughts but instincts and muscle memory. All research teams prepare for full integration test, Rohan announced. Throughout the solar system, scientists and engineers readied themselves for humanity's next evolutionary step. Commander Olivia Chen's voice came through the command channel. Dr. Patel, we're detecting unusual activity in the captured hegemony databases. The network seems to be interpreting their encryption on its own. Rohan rushed to a nearby console, his eyes widening at the data streams. The quantum neural network wasn't just breaking hegemony codes, it was restructuring them, using the combined processing power of thousands of linked human minds to unlock secrets the aliens had thought forever hidden. This is incredible, Director Wei breathed, her consciousness merging with the research team through the network. The hegemony's entire technological database. We're not just decoding it, we're understanding it at an intuitive level. Through the network, Rohan felt the moment of collective revelation. Every human connected to the system suddenly understood aspects of hegemony technology that had puzzled them for decades. It wasn't just information transfer, it was true comprehension, born from the merged insights of countless minds. Admiral Torres needs to see this, Rohan said, already sending the data through secure channels. The network isn't just a weapon or a defense system, it's becoming something more. In Luna Command, Admiral Torres received the information with growing amazement. The tactical implications were staggering. Not only could human forces coordinate with unprecedented precision, but they could now understand and counter hegemony technology in real time. Dr. Patel Tors called through the neural link. How soon can we implement these insights fleet-wide? The network is already doing it, Admiral. Every connected ship and station is being updated with new tactical protocols. Our forces are learning and adapting faster than the hegemony can respond. The effects were immediate and dramatic. In the outer system, Captain Diana Winters watched as her station's defensive systems reconfigured themselves, quantum shields adapting to frequencies the hegemony had thought undetectable. Through the network, she felt the collective confidence of humanity growing stronger. Multiple hegemony vessels approaching Europa, Lieutenant Kumar reported, his mind linked seamlessly with the station's sensors. They're using some kind of new cloaking technology. Diana smiled grimly. Not new to us, not anymore. Through the network, she accessed the recently decoded hegemony tactical databases. Adjust shield harmonics to frequency 793, target their propulsion matrices. The resulting battle was unlike anything in human history. Connected through the quantum neural network, humanity's defenders moved with perfect coordination. Every insight, every tactical advantage was instantly shared and implemented across the entire theater of war. At Ganymede Base, Rohan monitored the network's evolution with a mixture of awe and cautious optimism. Director Wei, are you seeing these adaptation rates? The network is learning from every engagement, every interaction with hegemony technology. It's more than learning, Doctor, Hannah replied, her consciousness expanded through the network. It's transforming us, not just our technology, but how we think, how we fight, how we solve problems. We're becoming something the hegemony never imagined possible. The quantum interface chamber pulsed with new patterns as more humans joined the network. Engineers shared insights with pilots, scientists merged understanding with tacticians, and through it all, the collective consciousness of humanity grew stronger and more unified. We need to brief Admiral Tors, Rohan decided, already composing the report through his neural link. The network isn't just giving us an advantage in this war, it's showing us what humanity can become. As if in response, the quantum patterns shifted again, revealing new possibilities that no single human mind could have conceived. The hegemony had sought to contain humanity's potential. Instead, they had forced humanity to transcend their own limitations, becoming something entirely new. Through the network, Rohan felt the growing realization ripple through the connected consciousness of his species. This war wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about evolution, about humanity claiming its place among the stars not as students or subjects, but as pioneers of a new way of existence. Fleet Commander Natasha Joe stood on the bridge of the TSS Retribution, humanity's first quantum-enhanced dreadnought. Through the neural network, she felt the synchronized readiness of her fleet, 300 ships crewed by humans whose minds were now linked in ways the hegemony had never thought possible. All vessels report quantum drive synchronization complete, announced Captain Miguel Rodriguez, his consciousness merged with the fleet's tactical network. The Arcturus contingent is in position. Serious battle groups confirm ready status. Natasha accessed the tactical overlay through her neural implant. The combined fleet hung in formation at the edge of Sol system, preparing for humanity's first major offensive against hegemony space. After 2 weeks of defensive victories, it was time to take the fight to the enemy. Status of Operation Thunderbolt, she queried through the network. The response came instantly from Intelligence Director Camel Dowan, stationed back at Luna Command. Hegemony defenses are exactly where we predicted. Their arrogance makes them predictable. They still don't believe we can strike this deep into their territory. Through the quantum neural network, Natasha shared the attack plan with every ship commander simultaneously. The plan had been developed by the collective intelligence of humanity's best tacticians, enhanced by the network's ability to process countless scenarios in seconds. All vessels prepare for quantum jump, she ordered. Remember your training, the network will guide us, but trust your human instincts. That's something the hegemony has never understood. The fleet's quantum drive spooled up in perfect synchronization. Through the network, Natasha felt the excitement and determination of thousands of crew members. They had all seen the hegemony's secret files, understood the fate that had been planned for humanity. Now it was time for retribution. Jump in 3, 2, 1, execute. Space twisted around the fleet as hundreds of ships made a perfectly coordinated quantum jump. They emerged in the heart of hegemony space, directly above their primary shipyard at Proxima Centauri. The massive construction facilities hung in space like a metallic web, surrounded by defensive platforms that were already turning to face the unexpected threat. Multiple hegemony vessels detecting our presence, Rodriguez reported calmly. They're scrambling their response fleet, but they're disorganized. The quantum jamming is working, they can't coordinate their defenses. Natasha allowed herself a grim smile. Begin Phase 1, show them what humanity can really do. The battle unfolded with devastating precision. Human ships, their crews linked through the network, moved with impossible coordination. Weapons fired in perfectly timed sequences, overwhelming hegemony shields. Through the network, tactical insights spread instantly. Every weakness discovered by one ship was immediately exploited by all. Commander, Lieutenant Sophia Patel's voice carried excitement through the neural link. The network has breached their central computer core. We have control of their automated defense systems. This was humanity's true advantage. While the hegemony relied on artificial intelligence and automated systems, humanity had achieved something greater, a perfect fusion of human intuition and quantum computing power. The network wasn't just a tool, it was an extension of human consciousness. Hegemony reinforcements incoming, Rodriguez announced, detecting quantum signatures from their second fleet. Natasha acknowledged the report, already adjusting the battle plan through the network. Execute Phase 2, deploy the quantum mines. Throughout the battlefield, cloaked devices activated. The technology, reverse-engineered from hegemony designs and enhanced by human innovation, created a web of quantum disruption fields. Enemy ships emerged from quantum space directly into chaos, their carefully planned formations shattered. Message from Admiral Tours, came the report. Operation Shadowfall is proceeding as planned. Multiple hegemony worlds are reporting widespread system failures as our viral code spreads through their network. The grand strategy was working perfectly. While the hegemony focused on the direct assault human cyber warfare teams, their capabilities enhanced by the quantum network were systematically dismantling the enemy's infrastructure. 2 decades of studying hegemony technology had revealed vulnerabilities they never thought possible. Commander, Rodriguez called out, detecting unusual energy signatures from the shipyard. They're attempting to activate some kind of quantum weapon. Through the network, Natasha instantly accessed the decoded hegemony weapons database. She recognized the pattern, a last resort device designed to tear apart spacetime itself. Not today, she muttered, sending commands through the network. Every human ship adjusted their quantum shields to a specific frequency, creating a synchronized defensive barrier. When the hegemony weapon fired, its energy was absorbed and redirected, turning their own technology against them. The shipyard's destruction was spectacular. As its quantum core destabilized, Natasha ordered the fleet to pull back to safe distance. Through the network, she felt the collective satisfaction of her crews. This wasn't just a military victory, it was proof that humanity had surpassed their would-be oppressors. All ships prepare for Phase 3, she commanded. The hegemony thought they could contain us, control us, eventually eliminate us. Instead, they forced us to become something greater than they could imagine. The fleet regrouped with perfect precision, quantum drives charging for the next jump. Behind them, the ruins of the hegemony's greatest shipyard marked the beginning of a new era. The message was clear: humanity would no longer be bound by the limitations others sought to impose. Through the neural network, Natasha felt the resolve of every crew member, every ship commander. They were no longer just fighting for survival. They were fighting to reshape the galaxy, to create a future where no species would be suppressed or controlled by another. The counterstrike had begun, and the hegemony was about to learn just how badly they had underestimated human potential. Strategic Director James Harrison stood in the grand chamber of the former Hegemony Council, Earth's quantum-enhanced diplomatic team arrayed behind him. Through the neural network, he could feel the combined determination of humanity and their allies as they prepared to reshape the political landscape of known space. The hegemony's reign ends today, he declared, his voice carrying across the vast chamber where representatives from 100 species had gathered. Not just for humanity, but for all races who have suffered under their control. The chamber, carved from living crystal in the heart of the hegemony's capital world, now bore the scars of recent battle. Fleet Commander Joe's forces had breached their defenses 3 days ago, using the quantum network to coordinate the most precise invasion in military history. Through his neural link, James received confirmation from Dr. Patel's team on Ganymede. The network is stable across all allied species. We're ready to proceed. This was humanity's greatest achievement, not just the defeat of the hegemony, but the adaptation of the quantum neural network to include other species. What had begun as a defensive measure had evolved into a tool for genuine understanding between different forms of consciousness. Representatives of the galaxy, James began, his words translated instantly through the enhanced network, we stand at a crossroads. The hegemony claimed to guide species toward enlightenment. Instead, they suppressed advancement, eliminated threats, and maintained their power through deception. Holographic displays activated around the chamber, showing evidence from the hegemony's own databases. Species after species that had been guided toward extinction, technologies that had been suppressed, potential that had been deliberately stunted. But today, we propose something new. James gestured, and the displays shifted to show a different vision. The Terran Alliance, not an empire, not a hierarchy, but a true collaboration between species. Our quantum network has proven that different forms of consciousness can work together, enhancing each other rather than competing. The Arcturian ambassador, their crystalline form shimmering with neural energy, stepped forward. Humanity has shown us a new path. When they could have used their advantage to dominate, they chose to share, to elevate, to connect. Through the network, James felt the ripple of agreement spread through the gathered representatives. The Sirius Confederation, the Centaurian Freelands, dozens of species that had joined humanity's resistance, all had experienced the transformative power of true connection. The last hegemony holdouts are being contained as we speak, reported Admiral Torres through the neural link. On tactical displays throughout the chamber, the final battles were shown in real time. Human ships, moving in perfect coordination with their alien allies, systematically dismantling the old order. Director Wei's voice joined the network from her research facility on Mars. The quantum neural integration between species is exceeding all projections. We're seeing the emergence of entirely new forms of thought, new possibilities for advancement. James nodded, feeling the truth of her words through the network. Every species brought its own unique perspective, its own way of understanding the universe. Together, linked through human innovation, they were becoming something greater than the sum of their parts. The choice before us is simple, he continued, addressing the chamber. We can retreat into isolation, protect our own interests, and perpetuate the cycle of dominance and submission that the hegemony embodied. Or we can embrace a new future, one where advancement is shared, where consciousness evolves through connection, where different species strengthen each other rather than competing. Captain Diana Winters, whose discovery had started this revolution, stepped forward. The hegemony feared human potential because they could not understand it. They saw our adaptability as a threat, our creativity as a danger. They never realized that these qualities could be used to unite rather than conquer. The quantum network hummed with increasing power as more species joined, their consciousness merging into a greater whole while maintaining their unique identities. This was humanity's gift to the galaxy, not domination, but liberation through connection. The Terran Alliance officially extends membership to all species who wish to join, James announced. Our quantum network will be shared, our advancements will be mutual, and our future will be determined together. The age of suppression is over. The age of collaboration begins. Through the network, he felt the moment of collective decision. Species after species, their representatives linked in unprecedented understanding, chose to embrace the new future humanity offered. In orbit above, Fleet Commander Joe watched as ships from dozens of species reorganized themselves, no longer in defensive formations but in patterns of cooperation. The quantum shields are adapting, she reported through the network. Each species' technology is enhancing the others. We're stronger together than we ever were apart. This was humanity's true victory, not the defeat of an enemy, but the creation of something entirely new. The quantum neural network that had begun as a defense against extinction had evolved into a bridge between consciousness, a tool for transcending the barriers that had kept species isolated and afraid.